Hi, my name is Chris Winder, and today I'm honored to talk with the authors of Diaries of a Psychic Sorority, Lily Phelps, Barbara With, and Teresa McMillian. I truly, guys, it is such a blessing for me to have you guys in my life. And as I mentioned to Lily, but I've said to each of you guys back in December too, it's an honor to be brought into this circle that you guys have. And as one that's not only read the book but kind of lived a little bit of your life with you guys, it is absolutely beautiful and changing my perspective, but also my life. And so, thank you very much for not only writing the book, but helping me through this journey as I walk this life through it. So, thank you.
How did we come to write the book? Well, the actual details of how that happens is part of the book. It's part of the whole story, which I don't think we necessarily want to give all those details away. But the beautiful part, as we've been saying, is that however it happened, we started doing it at this inception time, which was brilliant. And had you told us, well, in the year 2020, this information is after everything you've been through for 27 years. We could barely see past 3 months, and 9 months seemed like a long time, and 2 years was beyond our comprehension. So whoever planned this, and on the part of the angels, of bringing us together at a particular time, inspiring us to share those moments that were so new while they were happening, not looking back like a memoir, but while they're happening, makes that so powerful. And I think one of the most powerful parts of the book is Lily. There's many powerful parts, but I was always so impressed with how Lily, who I only had really known maybe not 4 months.
Yeah, a few months.
A few months. I didn't know these women at all. And watching her be so open and so vulnerable and so willing to admit, I'm just poop on the bottom of God's shoe. And those are the voices in everybody's heads that really are what the whole thing addresses. So anyway, as far as coming to write the book, that's really the power, one of the powerful things about it.
And what's so interesting when you say that is that it was hard to be that person, because I felt like I didn't get it and you guys did. And, I couldn't help it. We learned later. I'm the honor and articulation. I have no choice but to go inside and see what I see and articulate it. It's just how I'm made. But it was hard to be the one who talked about, I don't get it. I'm not doing it right. But it was necessary, Like we said, we created our own language. Who knew?
Well, and you were doing it right. That's the thing. You were doing it exactly right for you.
I just didn't know it at the time.
You didn't know it. You couldn't, you didn't have that inside you where you could even begin to see that.
Yep.
You didn't have the words. You guys talk about self-love today, and nobody of the three of you has to question what that means.
Right.
There's a whole segment of the population that's going, oh, yeah, self-love, got it. Okay, but anyways.
Yeah, whatever.
They're not connecting, what you guys, it's because you've done your individual work. And then as I said, the language, you guys now understand what that means. What you guys do is show your vulnerability of humanness and the imperfectness of that, and show that it's perfectly normal, and not only normal, but divine. And that's a powerful message that so many of us, I'll say we all, but you guys individually learned, at first, what's wrong with me? And it's only when we're vulnerable that we realize we're more similar than we are different. if you will, right? And that's doing the work going inside individually, and then collectively as the three of you bonded through your diaries, discovered that, oh, there's something larger here. And although Barb is different than Teresa, which is different than Lily, there was a triad, as you guys know, that was powerful. And you're not the same. When did you guys know, realize, or have the thought of writing a book?
I think it was probably about the time we did the third group channel, because every session would start with some kind of introductions, but then they would say, we want to speak with you tonight about culture. We want to speak with you tonight about blah. And after about the third one, where they started the reading like that, we're like, they have this planned out, right? And it was also around that time I had a dream, and I came into, I worked at Lily's kitchen design business at that time, and Barb would come over in the day and we would all talk about this stuff. And I can remember when Barb got there, I'm like, oh my God, I had a dream last night that the angels were writing a book. And we all laughed and said, oh, isn't that cute? And then, you know, that kind of just grew, and it's like, oh my God, the angels are writing a book. You know, they've already done the first 3 chapters. And I mean, that's my recollection of kind of how the idea of the book got started.
And I also remember that early on, when we hadn't had any groups yet, done anything like that, they were just coming to my gigs. I'm a musician as well, and they'd come to my gigs, and on our breaks we'd talk. I heard the message, you're going to teach them how to channel. And I was actually literally saying, no, I'm not a teacher. I never taught anybody how to channel. Why would I do that? And the answer was, because you have a great mission that you're going on. And of course, at the time, oh yeah, yeah, sure there is. But there also came a time where, because like Teresa was saying, we had done all this stuff and we wanted to get the transcripts to the people who'd come to the groups. And I kept hearing, you're going to write a book, you're going to write a book, you're going to write a book. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, we're writing a book. But then it was like, oh, it isn't just transcripts. Because that's what I thought. We'd just have a book of transcripts. No, it's your story. It's your story too.
And there are actually people who can't get in all the way in to read the angels' words, the readings, and they just read our story. I've had people tell me that they've gone from beginning to end of the book and all they read is our story. And at that point in their lives, that's all they can read. That's all they want to take in. That's all they can handle. And they still get a lot out of it. So it's really cool looking back how we wove our story into what we were learning from them, which made it much more than simply a book of transcripts. That's what made it real.